My weakness is architecture. I think of my work as ephemeral architecture, dedicated to the beauty of the female body. Christian Dior. In the 50s, the world had to deal with the post-war destruction and rebuilding of architecture from the German bombing. The end of the My weakness is architecture. I think of my work as ephemeral architecture, dedicated to the beauty of the female body. Christian Dior. In the 50s, the world had to deal with the post-war destruction and rebuilding of architecture from the German bombing. The end of the war saw a resurging in haute couture with famous designers that rebelling from the restricted austerity stylists. An innovation in new textile and technologies appeared during the 50s with new synthetic and easy care fabric being developed. In with the new suburban lifestyle of the 50s, acrylic, spandex, polyester, and others introduced with a long nylon. The 50s saw a return to femininity. The British fashion industry started to develop, moving away from the US stylists and fabrics were being influenced by British designers who were celebrating the female hourglass figure. More silhouettes were emerging with Dior using a line stylists and princess stylist dresses. And the ready-to-wear mass market took off, with Marks & Spencer being one of the leaders, renowned for quality and value for money. Paris and the US often copied the way Marks & Spencer made their garments. For summer, a new beachwear style was developing with matching style bikinis paired with floating skirts. During the 50s, a teenage market was introduced. For the first time, teenagers were
the top fashion icons and designers of the 50s. Christian Dior, prestigious French designer, his works were characterized by an hourglass-shaped silhouette with round shoulders and in his bust, a vast waist, and a long flare skirt. He instilled a new way of dressing and who dictated the fashion of this decade. Cristóbal Balenciaga, a Spaniard living in Paris, was considered the master of the haute couture. Balenciaga created the most enduring design over time. In 1951, he created the semi-fitted line, a type of dress that left a space between the fabric and body. Coco Chanel established her contrast trim boxy suit, worn with a soft blue trim with a kitten bow. They were created for ease of movement. She introduced his signature quilted bag with a gold chain strap. It is still popular. Yves Saint Laurent. He created more a fluid silhouette, under which the body disappeared. The trapeze line was born. Saint Laurent made his mark with less fabric and lighter approach that changed his course of fashion. It was
men's fashion in the 50s. The war was over, so the men didn't have to wear uniforms. That fact motivated the individuality in men's clothing. Everyone wanted to show how unique they could be. There was a color explosion. The suits and the pants were not only gray, navy, or blue. They introduced more colors, textures, and patterns. They used to wear colorful shirts in the beginning of the 50s, but then they changed it to pastel colors by the last middle of the decade just to highlight the tie. This doesn't mean that they wore normal shirts. No. For the casual style, they used to wear shirts, sweaters, and even suits with colorful patterns, but not for the work. Let's talk about hair. They used to flaunt bigger and more complex hairstyles, using a greasy pomade to get and maintain their hairstyle no matter what they did. Some of the hairstyles were the pompadour, like Elvis Presley and James Dean used to use it. The jelly roll, if you remember John Travolta in Grease, you know what I'm talking about. And the classic slip back with a side apart. It's like the hairstyle that grannies make to their grandsons. There were two popular groups of young men's style in that time. The jocks were the cool sportsmen after school. They usually wore jackets with a wool torso and leather long sleeves and with some embroidered identification of their team. And on the other hand were the greasers, who used to wear big hairstyles, leather motorcycle jackets, white t-shirts, and jeans. Both styles used Converse. Years before, they only used it to go to gym, but it became a regular shoe. Anyway, the 50s were a great decade for men's fashion because there were a lot of casual styles, and this showed the man that he could dress well and express his individuality.
Hi everyone, it's Nayelis, and I'm going to talk about the makeup and jewelry of the 50s. A brief history of the 1950s makeup. A concise illustrated guide to the 1950s makeup looks and cosmetics development, featuring and the styles of women in that decade. Colors. The colors options were wide in the variation, and like all the cosmetics were named to sound feminine and beautiful. High hat, jacket, club face powder was available in the toasted chestnut, brunette, coppered bronze, chocolate brown, nut brown, Harlem tan, and Spanish rose. Jewelry for women's. Jewelry 50s gold tone brooch by Pop and Glam Vintage. Chic price here. From Midge bracelet to bottoms, earrings, and flowers. Brooches, texture, gold tone jewelry becoming popular in the 50s. Rhinestone bracelet by Driving Miss Moped. Check price here. Instead of diamonds, ring hairdones becoming fashion after the 40s, since it's given of sophisticated, elegant apprehension, completing even gowns and cocktail dresses. Pearls earrings by My Jia Vintage. Pearls were the perfect accessory for the little black dress and the tailored suits. Jewelry for men's. ID bracelets, tie clips, identification bracelets in silver or gold, becoming popular especially on a chunky chain. The curved plate identified the wearer name or initials. Antique styles wristwatches. Another major change in jewelry attributed to the World War II was the revival for men to deciding to wear wedding rings. Wedding rings. This custom largely remains unchanged to the present day, thought there are still some men who shun the wedding band.